In an earlier video, I talked with you about the international vision for Sages. I want to talk some more about vision and again, emphasis. Your vision needs to be the local church, your local community. But there are things happening in other places that you need to take advantage of and let your Sage group be aware of it, where that they can participate as well. I mentioned earlier from an international scope, there's the Sages Summit that happens in the spring. There are those tours of Israel and cruises and that such thing. But there will also be district and regional events. And one of the things that I've observed in dealing with people new to the church, and sometimes people who simply have never stepped far away from the local church to go to a men's conference, a ladies' conference, or any of those types of things, is that people benefit from knowing their local church is part of something bigger than themselves. Let me talk about Sages and its structure just a little bit, and you may want to fast forward through some of this, and if you read fast, you can just read it on the notes. Sages has a national director. It has a board of directors. Representation comes from 6 regions, secretary plus the director. We're under the oversight of church advancement, the general superintendent, and the executive board. The Sages board, those regional directors, we present policy to the executive board for approval. We make plans. Executive board approves speakers and all of that type thing. The board, including the director and secretary, all of this is voluntary. None are compensated. Sages was launched with a wonderful gift from Ladies Ministry and is funded ongoing by registration fees, offerings, monthly contributions, and one-time offerings. Okay, so that's the national, international. Every district then is to appoint a district director of Sages. They work to accomplish the vision of empowering those of the Sage age to be effective for God. This will be about, helping retired pastors and pastors' wives to find their continued place in the Lord's work. And this that I just mentioned is a real challenge. Some districts are ahead of the curve. Tennessee, for several decades, has had a camp meeting specifically for those of the Sage age. It happens in the early spring, and they bring in a speaker. It involves the district superintendent and others as needed. Music is what those who are 55 and up enjoy. It's a slower pace. It doesn't go from 8 in the morning until 5 in the evening to be back for evening service at 7. There's a lot of rocking chair time, and I put it that way because the Tennessee camp has rocking chairs out under pavilions, and people who are of the Sage age will get out and rock and talk about fishing and all of the other things that they've enjoyed. But what's going to happen is when the benefit is seen, other districts are going to add something to the schedule, like what Tennessee's been doing for a long time. When the focus is those of retirement age, it opens up all kinds of options because you don't have to have it in the summer. The district event, particularly for those that have a campground, can be at some other time. And then if there is no campground, this can happen at a local church. That's what we're planning to do in Missouri. Bringing people to such events adds value. There is something about cross-pollinating, something about connecting with people you don't know, praying with them, worshiping with them, being taught with them, being part of an altar service with them. All of those things make such a huge difference. Stay tuned for district events that will happen in your district in the coming months. In some regions, we're not aiming as much to have district events as to have regional events. Case in point, the Northeast, 7 districts are coming together, and we have a Northeast Sages event. Sages Northeast, I think, is the label. And these 7 districts are coming together and travel. All of these could fit in Texas quite easily. It's organized by the Sages directors and the district superintendents. And it just makes sense to do it that way in districts that are close together. If our team at UPCI Sages is made aware, we include those events on our website. UPCI Sages is going to grow. We're adding an average of 120 new people every week to the Facebook group. Over the last several days, we've probably added about 60 per day. So the numbers are just increasing almost exponentially. But we need your help as a leader of this local group. Our impact will quicken with your help. Number one, when there are events, please attend yourself if at all possible. Many of these are going to include a time of sharing. Second, see if you can start a Sages Bible quiz team. And then third, encourage your Sages to attend district, national, or regional events, even if for some reason you're unable to attend. And then be sure, communication is so important, and you become the gatekeeper in some ways. Now, some of our Sages, they're totally on Facebook, they do all kind of stuff, but there are others who don't do email, they don't do much of any of that stuff. You're the gatekeeper who will give them information. If they're going to know about a cruise that's happening to Canada and New England, or a tour of Israel, or a Sages Summit that might be happening in Gatlinburg, you're going to have to be the one who informs them. So be sure that you let your people know what's going on. We're going to use leverage, email, social media, video promotion, and we're going to do everything we can to communicate. But we need your help. You've heard it before, you're going to hear it again over and over, and you're going to see it come to reality. Sky's the limit. We're going to see people born again. We're going to see people filled with the Holy Ghost. We're going to see miracles of healing happen in Sages events over the next while. To God be the glory. Look forward to seeing you on another video.